Okay guys, welcome back to episode 5 I think it is of our Christmas special. Today we are going to carry on working on our Santa's head, which is the target object. We are going to try and get the Santa's head, our target, I need to say just target object because we're going to change it later on the game. But today we're going to try and get that target object to, once it has been instantiated into the scene, we want to go and then try and move it up so that we can actually see it. Because if we go into the game, let me show you here quickly. Yesterday's episode we actually worked on instantiating them into the scene, so you can see they do appear in the scene after, I can't remember what the delay is, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's like a second or two. But if we pause this and then go into our scene view, you can see that if I select all of them and move them up, they are all there. So this is what we want to do in today's episode. We want to go from, once they have been instantiated behind our wave, we want to go and then move them up quickly, and then if we will give the player like a second time limit, and then if the player does not interact with it or press it or shoot it, depending on what we do down the line, we want to go and move the target object back down and then get rid of it. And then depending on how long that takes, we also want to go and set a limit to how many target objects we can have in each level, because obviously we don't want it to fill up with the same object, because then it's just gonna look very messy. So that is what we're going to do today. Hopefully that goes smoothly. I'm going to show you what I mean here. Let's just wait for this to spawn so many heads. We also need to fix, I think that's what we'll do first, we need to go and fix this, the waves at the end of our screen so that they don't look like they end. But let's pause this, go into our game here, and then I'm going to select all of these and move these up. And okay, I mean, it's not messy, but if we go and paste them and move them up, this is what it would look like eventually when multiple Santa's heads or target objects get instantiated into the scene, which is what we don't want. So let's go and fix that. First of all, let's go and fix these waves. So I think for now what we could simply do is just drag it out a little bit like that, and we will give this, let's copy, no, we won't copy that because it's going to change the height of it. So for the 750 and the 200 we want it to be the same, so I'm going to select this one, and then on the x-axis that's 1 point, no, so we need to copy the scale on the x-axis for that one and paste it into actually both of them. Let's just do all of them the same. So we'll paste that into there so that they are all the same size, and let's go and play this and see if that works. We might have to shift them a little bit so they no longer move out or move across that white line, which is the outline of what our camera sees. So that's good, you can see that's working nicely. So let's go and open up our scripts now and see if we can go and figure out how to move our target object up and back down after a delay. But first of all, we need to check something. So for this one, at the moment we are, where's our game? So at the moment we are spawning or instantiating the target object, which is our Santa's head, on the upper layer. Okay, so let's go and see what we need to say. So let's change this to upper global dot, this needs to be, let's just do this, we'll change the middle to upper. Why we got caps? Upper like that, upper level layer. And then what else do we want to change? New location is going to be, this is going to be upper what is it actually? Yeah, upper level. So let's change that to upper level Y. That needs to be a U, like that. What else do we need to change? Okay, so hopefully that's fine. We'll save that. And we got rid of that, so upper level layer, like that. So let's go back and see what this does. So I think we do have a little bit of a problem here, because this, now that we've changed that, it should spawn over here and then eventually move it up, which we have to write the code to do that. So let's go and see where it spawns now. So we've got our first target. Okay, so it is working. Let's do that again and then see quickly and pause it rather than end the game. Okay, so where are these? They are there, but they are behind our background. So background order and layout needs to be -2. I'll save that. And then, okay, we need to go out of that, out of save mode, out of gameplay mode. So -2. So everything that is in front of our background needs to be in front of -2 in the order and layer. So there are Santa's heads. So what we want to do is, we are currently setting what is it? Global lower level layer. That's not what we want. We want the Y. So the upper level Y, it needs to go down, or everything needs to go down rather. By, let's go and say this needs to be at -0.9. We'll just shift them all. This needs to be at 0.75, and then this one needs to be at 0.5. No, 0.6, sorry. Let's try that. Yeah, so we'll try that and then jump back into here and see what that gives us. So this one should now spawn the Santa's head somewhere along this line here, which it hopefully does. Yeah, so there it is and there it is. So now that we've got those in the right place and it is in the upper level, we want to go and code a little script or function that pops them up to here. And then we'll add in a delay of probably like a second, and then we will pop them down, and then after, or as soon as they have reached the certain Y value, we're going to go and get rid of them in the scene. Obviously if the player has clicked on them. So let's go and see if we can do that. But before we do that, I'm just going to check that our what's it called, our levels are correct. So this is upper. Let's go and try upper level layer is going to be, actually, you know what, I'm going to, for this I'm going to put 3, and then over here I'm just going to check this by saying mid. Is it middle level? Yeah, so middle. Let's play that to see. Hopefully that will pop up in here somewhere. The reason I just put 3 is so that I can actually see if when they do instantiate into the scene, they instantiate in the right place, which they don't. Did I save that? I did. So where's this one? This one is over there. Order and layout -1. Okay, so clearly that's wrong. So let's go back and change this to global dot, we're testing the mid-level layer. So we'll save that and see what that gives us. So mid-level layer should give us a target object on -0.75. So let's play that. There's one. Which is wrong. That needs to be. Oh, now it's saying order layer. What? Did I not change? Why did I do that? Scripts. Let's open that up again. I changed that. So why is it? That's very weird. Let's try that again and see if it updates again. So I haven't changed anything. Okay, so that's order layer 0 now. That one is 0, that one is 0. I'm going to do it again just so we can see if that does change again. So the first one is 0, the next one is also 0. Okay, we'll pause it, and now let's see, they still are in the wrong place. Okay, so these ones should all be at -3. Okay, that's completely different to what we had yesterday. Let's try that. Clearly something has changed overnight that we had no control over, because now that they are spawning in the right place now. -3. So let's go pause that quick and see these ones. We're gonna make them order in layer 3, so that's correct. That's where we want them to spawn. So that's the mid-level layer. So let's see. And then the upper level, let's just go and do this quick. So the bottom layer, we will set them at -3 and then drag them down to about -5 maybe. We'll set it at -5. So now we can go and do this pop-up. Let's change this to global dot mid upper lower level layer, and then this one needs to be, where is it, it is over here. This one needs to be lower, so that should be fun. Why don't you bring in Emily? Save that and then jump back, but that is still I can't spell. Now we'll save it and we will jump back into here and play this again, and we will see that this is not going to work, because why would it? So let's see. Our first one is okay, it does work. Actually it doesn't. Okay, well, let's pause that, select all of these, and then let's do this. That one's there. Okay, so we have 2 on the same place, which is not the end of the world, but we'll figure that out later in another episode. So that's fine. Okay, so that's good. So now let us go and change this to, we're going to start working on the top one first. Not that it really matters, but we'll say upper level layer, and then over here we will say upper level Y. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go and figure out a way to once the Santa's head has spawned, we want to go and move it up. So we'll pause that and move these up. Okay, so those are working fine except for the first one. I don't know why the first one doesn't work. So let's go and say, actually I might know, order in layer. I think it's because our, let's do this. If we'll cut that out and paste that in there. Let's see if that works, because it's instantiating a object first and placing it at a certain location, and then only after then it is changing the order layer. So that should work now. So these should all be -1. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so let's go and make another method here, and we will call this one private move, or rather void move target object up. Actually, we'll just say move target object, because this method might move it up and then bring it back down, depending on if we feel like making another one. Probably not, but this here is going to be called over here. So here we want to move the target object up, and then we'll call move target object and save that. So now all we want to do is we want to move the object up slightly. So let's go and see what our limit is and how far we want to move it up. So let's spawn one Santa's head. So for this one we are currently at -1. So let's go and say minus, actually we need to go up, so it's going to be positive. So 0, no, we want 1. So I think 1 suits the upper level layer, so that's fine. So let's go and type that into our global. So in here we can create some more public static floats. This is going to be our upper level. I'm trying to think of a name here. Upper level move or transform value, I don't know, something like that. So that is going to, what did we say is going to be? 1. Yeah, so we'll set it as 1. We'll copy that, and this will change to is middle, and this we will change to lower. And then we need to go and determine these values. So let's bring this to 3 quick. So this one is going to be for our mid-level layer. We are going to set it at minus actually, you know what? We will leave them like that for now, because we're going to work on our top one and try and get it working first before we start fiddling around with the other ones. Okay, so let's go and do this. So the first one, that's fine. Okay, so in our code, go back to our pop-up. Now we need to figure out how to move the object up. So we don't need to pass anything in, because we're simply going to be moving whatever the script is attached to. So let's see, we are currently moving or we can do it pretty much the same as the left to right movement script, but instead of it going from left to right, it's going to go up and then back down. So let's see, actually let's just copy this, and we'll copy that and paste that in here. And then we want to change the right to up, and then I'm going to create a global speed here value. So let's call this public static. This is going to be an int, and we will call this pop up speed, and that's going to be equal to 2 for now, I think. And then we'll also make another one, public static int. This is going to be our wave speed. That is going to be, I think it's 1, I can't remember, let's go and check. So speed is set in the inspector, but I think we set them to be equal. So yeah, that is going to be equal to 2, so let's go and get rid of that. And then instead of having just speed, we'll go and say global, if I can spell, global dot wave speed. Copy that in there, save that, go into our global, we can set that equal to 2 as well, save that, and then in here, this we can say global dot pop-up speed times time dot delta. Okay, so now this, because it has no restrictions, it is going to carry on moving up out of the scene, but let's see what this looks like. So we instantiate them, and then eventually it does not move. Did we call it? Let's go this dot transform and see what that does. So play the game, And hopefully now that it knows, or hopefully it knows that it needs to move up, which it doesn't. Okay, let's try and figure out why. Okay, so I think I know why, and that is actually no. Move target object to a position. I'm gonna, here, let's go and say debug.log, and we'll call Santa is moving. Let's see if this is actually being called. It should be called, because yeah, it's moving. So actually, let's go and see position 3 -1 time speed. Okay, I think I know why it is not working, and that is might be because you know, I'm gonna try something. I don't know, this probably won't make any difference, but let's just put in the update quick and see if that works. We'll play that. So that's not gonna work. Okay, so that's useless. So we can get rid of that, and let's go and Google it. So here, let's say move game object up in Unity. It's just going to be the exact same thing. How to move an object in Unity, that's what we want. How to move an object in Unity, transform the position is equal to, yeah, but we don't want it to be a sudden movement. We want it to, let's try that. We want it to move slowly, so that, well, not slowly, but we want it to move so that we can actually see it move and not just pop up out of nowhere. So let's play this and see what we got. So again, we don't have them moving. I know exactly why this is not working. So what we need to do is we need to say, we could probably put back what we had. So let's go undo all of that, and then we need to pass in our game object. So because what I thought that this pop-up script was attached to our target object, which is not. It's actually attached to our target manager. So what we have to do is we need to pass in as a game object our target object, and then here we can say target object dot transform. Hopefully that will work. So now in here, all we need to do is say target object, like that. So now that we are passing in our object, we are going to go and move that object by saying target object dot transform dot translate. So let's go save that, and then let's go and see if this works. Hopefully it does. It should do. So where is our Santa's head? So there's our Santa's head, and it's, of course, it's still not working. Why would it work? So let's see why that's not working. I did save it. Reorder operands for better performance. That's not going to make any difference, but we'll try that. So move target object. Let's try and figure this out. We could just add a script onto the object and then tell it when it is in the game, move it up a few units and then move it back down. Should we do that? Yeah, why not? Let us go let's go do that. So let's go to our prefab, which is this one, and then on our Santa head we will go and add a script, say move target. So we will create this script and add it onto there. So let's go and edit the script. So I'm going to copy this, so we'll cut that out and cut that out as well. Save that, and then on our move target we will simply paste that in there, and then in our update method we'll go and say move target object. But because this is attached to our target object, we don't need to pass in a game object. So let's save that and jump into here and see if this works. Hopefully it does, but I don't think it will, because why would it? Okay, so it does work. There's our target object. So that was a bit slow, so I'm going to change our pop-up speed to about 5. Jump back into here, see if this works nicely, or rather if the speed is nicely, if it suits the game. So here we have, okay, so that's still a bit too slow. Let's go and try, let's try 8. Did I save it? Yeah, 8. Okay, so we'll play the game, and then we will see Santa appear in random places, which is good. So now what we want to do is, obviously we don't want them to fly off the scene. We want them to stop when they get to a certain place and then move back down. What's the time? Let's do that quick. Let us go into our move target object, and we can, in our global method here, let's go and say public static. We're just going to do this for the top layer because we need to create other restrictions for the bottom 2 layers. So we'll focus on the top layer for now, and then we will focus on the next 2 layers in the next episode. So public static int, we will say upper target There's so many different names here that we need that is getting confusing. Upper target max y, I think, I don't know, we'll see, we'll leave that like that. But let's go and play the game quick so we can get value, and then we will pause it. And then I want to bring this Santa back down to, so we want them to stop probably around here, which is, we'll say 1 for now. Actually, we had these values. Where are they? They are here. Upper level transform value. Yeah, we've already got that. So let's go and get rid of that, and we'll just use upper level transform value. So we'll save that. Move target here. We will use that in here. So here we'll say if transform dot position dot y is less than or equal to, or less than the global dot upper level transform value, then we will go and move it. So that should move our Santa up to the target level value, if that makes sense. So let's play that and hopefully see that work. So they should stop over here somewhere, which they do. So that's cool, that's what we wanted. Now that we have got them to stop, we need to go and work on bringing them back down. So let's go and do that. So let's go say if actually, do we want, let's do this over here. So let's create another method, and we'll say private void move target down. We'll change this to up, and then just to keep things consistent, we will call it the same, but instead of up we will say down. So we'll save that. And then in here we need to copy it and paste it in here. Instead of up, we're going to go down. And then we need to only call this method when the value is equal to what's it called, the limit. So we can add another if statement here and saying if the transform dot if this, but not if it's less, but only if it is equal to that, we will call invoke. No, we need to, how do you add in a delay? Let's look this up quick. Call a method after delay. I think it's what's it called? It is not invoke repeating. It is start coding or something like that. Let's see, yield. Yeah, no, that's what it is. We need to copy that and paste this in here. And then we will copy this and paste this in here, like that. So wait for, this is going to be our delay. So we will make another method, another public static float delay. That is going to be equal to, we'll give the player a second for now. If we want it to be longer, depending on what it looks like, we will go and do that. So let's go and say global dot delay, and then we want to execute this line of code after that. So now we need to call this by saying, I think it is, can we just go move target object down? Let's see what that says. Save it, and then play it. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's see. Okay, so it's not working. Let's see. It's a lot of code that we don't need. Let's go. What's the best way to delay a function? Start coding. I think we do need that. So here we say start. Let's use start routine. So that should now allow our target object to move down after it moves up. So move up after delay, still doesn't move down. Let's see. I am going to go and put a debug dot log move down. So let's see if this is actually being called, because if it's not, then that's where our error is. So go on a console, it's there, so they are not being called. Okay, so actually let's figure this out. So if we play this and then pause it on our center head, so this value is position and y is equal to 1. Okay, so that is probably why, because this is never going to be an exact value. So here, instead of saying equals, we can say greater than or equals to. Okay, so we'll save that, and then let's get rid of our debug, because I have a feeling that it's going to work now. So now let's go and play the game again and see if it works. So we have our Santa's heads that get caught or moved up, and then clearly it's not working. So 1 point. Okay, so it's still not working. If transform, you know what, let's put our debug here, debug.log move target object back down. So let's see if this is actually working. Because if it is not, when the target object gets to the top and it stops, it should print out that message. So let's see. We have our first object, move target back down. We have the next one. Actually, let's see what's happening here. Okay, so we have so many, but yeah, we only have three heads. So we need to figure out why that doesn't work, or actually we just need to figure out a better way to do that. So I am going to go and do some research into how to do that, and then we will carry on with that in tomorrow's episode 5, I think, depending on what this was. I think I said it was 4, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode. So thank you so much for watching again if you made it this far, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Goodbye.